Welcome back to the dojo, y'all. Welcome back to the daily discussions. I'm your host, Professor Hawk Sensei, and I'm glad you can make it. I'm glad you're tuning in. Today, I want to talk about sacrifice because it's truly a way of life. Sacrifice. Nowadays, when you hear this term, you may think of something ominous. You know what I mean? But sometimes you could do something as simple as sacrificing your time to achieve something. This is something that we have to do. Sacrifice. There's always a sacrifice that is to be made in order to gain something. This isn't just in the satanic realm. This is a real life thing. Animals make sacrifices. What you mean, Hawk? Animals make sacrifices? There are some, I don't know if it's mammals, invertebrates, whatever, but there are some species of animal who they'll eat their own young if they're unable to feed all of them. Sacrifice. Some animals may have to let their eggs get eaten by a snake in order to save the majority of the nest or the eggs. Who knows? Animals make sacrifices. And so do we. Each day you go to work, you make a sacrifice. You sacrifice your time in order to earn a living so you can sustain and maintain, right? But at any point in time, you could quit that job or they could let you go. You know? Then you'll have to find a new place to sacrifice your time and your labor to in order to sustain and maintain what you had before. If you want to be a great athlete, you'll have to sacrifice long hours and days in the gym, practicing your sport, and also studying the game that you wish to compete in. You wouldn't think that's a sacrifice on the outside looking in, but it's a very intense one. Some people sacrifice their whole life, everything that they are and will be, in order to become a professional athlete. That's not the road I want to go, but there are plenty who have, and not everybody makes it. But that still doesn't take away from the sacrifice that they made. All those days in practice, the lost games, studying game film, you know. But that's just one example. It's just one example of sacrifice. What about a more intense version? What if you had to sacrifice somebody you love to save someone else? Say y'all all on a boat going down, you know, like Titanic story. Y'all on a boat and it's going down. And the lifeboat can only fit 2 of y'all, but it's 3 of y'all. Who's gonna stay, who's gonna go? That's a sacrifice. A heartbreaking sacrifice, gut-wrenching sacrifice. You may even be tempted to sacrifice yourself because you couldn't bear to see them go. But nowadays with the way the world is, I hardly think too many people would do that. They're like, man, fuck you, I'm saving myself. You figure it out. You know. Sacrifice seems to be a foreign concept in our times. At least in ideal or ideas. People don't even realize the sacrifices that they're making. Trying to go viral. Sacrificing your morals, values, and integrity for likes. For likes. For prestige. Or what everybody calls it, clout, for lack of a better term. They are literally sacrificing their possible future, professional future, for maybe 15 minutes of fame, if that. Even if they don't make it, you can't say that they didn't sacrifice. Maybe the sacrifice that they made was in vain. That's possible. You can make sacrifices that don't pan out. You can make an investment and not see a return. That happens. I would argue it happens more often than not. But still, you can't get something for nothing in this world that we live in. So there's always a cost that must be paid if there's something that you want. You can sacrifice money. You can sacrifice time. You can sacrifice a multitude of things. But ultimately, in the end, at the end of the day, when the chips fall where they may, the fat lady sings and it's all over, you're gonna have to make some type of a sacrifice. That's the name of the game. It's the way of life. Can't get something for nothing. So you gotta sacrifice. Have you ever heard the term, it takes money to make money? Yes. Yes. Because in order to gain a profit, you're gonna have to spend some money. There may be an operating cost. There may be some liabilities that you have to cover. It could be a lawsuit. Who knows? Those are expenses. Those are sacrifices that come from the bottom line, the profit margin. Yeah, absolutely. That's why most companies are so big on preventing lawsuits. Oh God, man. Any company that's trying to make money hates that. So you will be sacrificed for the greater good. You know what I mean? That's how it goes in business. We here to make money. You can't make money and you costing somebody else money. Don't work that way. Don't work that way. So no matter where you go, there's always going to be a cost that has to be paid. There's always going to be a sacrifice that you're going to have to make. No matter if you want to be a millionaire, billionaire, or whatever. We all have to sacrifice. No one's excluded. I'm just here to remind you that it's a way of life. Get more comfortable with it. Get more comfortable with parting with things that you've earned, especially money. Get comfortable with parting with it. I'm not telling you just throw it all away. No. No. You have to learn how to save. That's being responsible. You have to learn how to save your money. But I just wanted to bring this discussion, this talking point to you today because as selfish as the world is, we still have to sacrifice. I would say the days and times that we live in, we have to sacrifice more than ever before. We have to forego getting things that we want in order to maintain, in order to get the things that we need, in order to sustain ourselves. We have to make sacrifices. That's a sacrifice. Putting your wants and desires on the back burner so you can take care of your needs. That's a sacrifice. A lot of us do that every day. If you want to survive, if you want to make it, You gotta learn how to budget your money. And the money that's outside of your budget that you still have, you need to save that, at least as much as you can. That's also saving money is also a sacrifice. I guess in order to make it easier, make a game out of it. Make a game out of it. See how long you can forego buying things that you want. Not need, want. Things that you don't necessarily need and you can do without to survive, you know what I mean? We gotta make sacrifices if we want to win. I'm really just planting a seed. I feel like I've touched enough upon it. I feel like I've skimmed the surface. The rest of the exploration and sacrifices is up to you. It's entirely up to you. All I'm here to do is just to show you the door. You have to choose if you want to walk that path or gain that understanding and whatever comes with it. So, with that being said, I hope you learned something today. Hope you're waking up every day with a plan, a purpose, and a smile. And if you're not waking up with a plan, a purpose, and a smile, hey, at least you're waking up. So before I go, I want you to do me a favor. Go ahead and like the video because I know you like this one. Share the video because why not? We're not selfish. We're not stingy over here. And subscribe because you came back too many times not to push that button. So, Professor Hawk signing out. Hawk Sensei, bitch, would do. Class is dismissed, y'all. Take care.